This is Malika. This is the New Earth Update, March 14th, 2026, Part 4. So, the Creator has been giving me a lot of messages are not only with the New Earth, but also with some of the politics that are going on, so that we can remind humanity to be in our hearts that the intelligence of the heart is God, and that peace is the natural state of the universe. And we have been plunged into forgetfulness, and we have been coerced by the reptilian invasion, which has created a dark government and dark governments, which have spin-offs of the Black Ops, the Mafia, the Gang Stalkers, the Illuminati. So the reptilians' invasion and occupation has been adulterating humanity for a very long time. And they've been telling humanity again to not trust our galactic neighbors, which is where our gracious abundance and free energy and gracious technology comes from. And that is absolutely amazing. So, really quickly, I have been trying to piece this part together, and the Garthers offered it to me a couple of days ago. Bless their hearts. So they said that they acknowledged the Great Flood that took place on Earth. And after the flood took place, the Black Dragon, Swami Chidvilasananda, was incarnated at the time, and the reptilians were in the surface of the Earth, in the underground bases that they created. And they're the ones that told humanity that life didn't exist anywhere else, including on Mars or Venus or anywhere else, when humanity actually really did exist on Venus and Mars. And that's how we came to believe that we're the only ones in the universe. And that's what they're saying. And they're saying that the reptilians have told us not to trust our galactic neighbors and to shut them out, so that we don't talk to them. Because if we talk to them, they would tell us what's going on, and that's what they've been doing. So that's what happened with Area 51 in Roswell, and those are the cases that I'm familiar with. I'm sure there's many more. But I knew from a whistleblower account and from my own experience interacting with the crash survivors and pilots of Area 51 that they came in diplomacy. They said they came in diplomacy, and they were shot down with an electrical weapon. Now, I always wondered where did that electrical weapon come from, and now I'm realizing that the reptilians possibly gave that to the U.S., to humanity. To the U.S. military. And so this is how much fear the reptilians have instilled inside of humanity towards our galactic neighbors, when it's the reptilians that are invading and that are targeting us and that are murdering us and experimenting on us and mutilating us and killing us and getting us to kill each other. And that is amazing. And that is amazing because I always wondered, why after a great flood or whatever, why has our earth been so barren, and why was it so difficult to eat back then? During Jesus' time, during Moses' time, during Egyptian times, during the Roman Empire. And so this is the Agarthans. There was a great flood, and it wiped everything out on most every part of the planet. Now, Lemuria existed all over the planet, and that's the part you don't understand. And that's what they're saying. So go ahead and respond. That is incredible. And I've wondered about that too, because I thought Lemuria was only on the Pacific continent, because Hawaii is the upper tip of the Lemurian continent, the Pacific continent. And that was the Lemurian civilization. And I thought that the Lemurian civilization only inhabited a particular part of the earth, and that the rest of the earth was barren. But they just told me, and I'm just learning this, and perhaps many other people know this already, that the entire earth was abundant. Okay, so the flood may I ask you? They say, yes, you can. What caused the flood? It was a great meteor shower, they're saying, that took place and caused a big gaping hole. And you know where that is. And that is the hole that went through into the inner earth. And that is interesting. Okay, now I need to get more, I do believe them, but I need to get more confirmation of that, but I think I just got it. That's very, very interesting. So I need to get more confirmation of that. Okay, so anyways, so that's what's going on. So we need to do an about face, and I'm putting the messages out there into the mainstream media, into the collective, and towards the military, and towards the government, about the benevolence and the enlightenment and the love, and the how advanced our benevolent neighbors are, and that it's the Black Dragon who is the cosmic Antichrist, Swami Chidvilasananda, turned against the Creator in the beginning of time because she misinterpreted something. Possibly because she thought her Lord Shiva didn't love her the way he should have, but he really did. She misinterpreted it. And it always boils down to this. That's why it's so important to meditate. And not only do you explore yourself in the universe, you receive infinitely and abundantly from the Creator and the Ascended Masters, but you also attain the truth. So when you process all your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and you can do this all day long until it becomes second nature. So you're always processing, and you're always realizing the truth in every situation you encounter, and every question, and every ponderance that you have ever had. And when you realize the truth, it always takes you to the heart, because God is love, and the universe is love, and the universe is beautiful, and the universe is brilliant, and we are all brilliant, and we are all God, and God loves us. So this is why processing and meditation is so important. And we realize that we are love, and that God loves us, and we attain the heart. And we attain our connection to the Creator and to all that is, and our unity and our oneness with God and our oneness with each other. And the divine spark that is in all of us, and we all have an individual soul, we are all one with each other. We are all interconnected, and we are all one. And we all feel the same thing. So the same intelligence exists in all of us. So we attain God within, and we attain God without, and we explore infinitely and attain wisdom and new experiences. And we're all different, and there's gazillions of us in the universe. So there's infinite variety and infinite fun. You can talk to a different tree every day, or you can talk to a molecule in a tree, because it all has intelligence. and it's so very beautiful. So we need to remember that everyone is a child of God, even the Antichrist figures and even the reptilians. Now, a lot of the reptilians are drones, okay, but so I have deduced that 2/3 of the reptilians have the black dragon energy in them, and 1/3 are souls from benevolent civilizations that the reptilians have blown up that have been attached to those bodies. So in the new earth, all of that, they will all be immediately, instantaneously, and the galactics graciously have the ability to do this, to transfer a soul from one body to another upon death, where you do not lose your breath, where the next breath you take, you're automatically in the second body, in the next body. And they have the ability to do that, so they don't suffer. And they don't really die too much. And they have lifespans from 2 to 50,000 years old. 2 to 50,000 years. And the Lemurian lifespan was 2,000 years. And they choose what incarnation they're going to take next. And of course, I'm sure they do it with the Creator. They're telling me they do it with the Creator. So there really is no such thing as death as we know it, and as all the pain and suffering. And this is a recent realization that I've had. And because I knew that they had lengthy lifespans, and I know that they can transfer themselves or each other over to the next body instantaneously. But it really hit me because I've been, and I'm being very candid here, very upset about the amount of pain that is involved with the birth and death cycle. And all of the land that is taken by burying dead bodies. And that's a lot of land. So I finally realized the galactics, the Agarthans say that once they transfer a soul from the body that is dying or that has just died to the next body, before they take their next breath, they actually get rid of the dead body. They don't keep the dead body. And they are okay with that. They're fine. Absolutely, they're fine with that. They're absolutely fine with that. Okay, so we need, but since deprivation has been created, and crime has been instigated, has been initiated, and the wheel of karma has been set off by the initiation of crime by the Black Dragon. We do need to maintain the law and maintain the peace, and we need to adjudicate, and there needs to be justice because that holds the universe together. So when there's an injustice, we have the right to have divine justice, and that is rectification or divine justice for the karmic board towards the injustice that was done towards us. Okay, so that brings back stability and integrity back to the field and restores the soul in both the victim and both the perpetrator. So this will be done across the board, and of course we already have that in our justice system, and people can rectify. Now I know that the dark government is afraid of being arrested, and that's why there's a big to-do always on going after the whistleblowers and going after the peace activists. And people can rectify their karma by blessing a lot of people. You can bless people on a cosmic scale, on a country scale, on a planetary scale. But the Creator wants a full universe, and the universe again can't evolve if it has a hole in it. And if those that carry the heart of God are murdered and don't come back, then nobody will be able to feel. We're all interconnected. Now, if those that are the mind of God are murdered and don't come back, or don't have justice, then nobody will be able to think, because they carry the mind of all of us, not only the mind of the Creator, but of all of us, and nobody will be able to think. So, same thing with the liver aspect of the Creator is the cleansing aspect of the Creator, and I've determined that is the ufologists, because they are the knowledge bearers, and they truly cleanse the universe, or cleanse, of course, the universe. The galactics have all this knowledge already, but they clear our heads, because they have a much fuller picture of what's going on than the rest of us, because our UFO phenomenon and our galactic relationship has been suppressed so much. So we need to adjudicate the ETs that we have properly with the karmic board, and we need to be very clear of who's good and who's bad, and we need to contain the bad ones and allow and be hospitable to the good ones. And I use the Agarthans, and I suggest you use the Agarthans if you need clarity. If the government needs clarity on which ones are which, or which ones are good and which ones are bad, they can consult the Agarthans. They say they're okay with that. So once we have safety and we have law and we're maintaining the peace on that level, then the Area 51 and the Roswell crash survivors have said recently to me that they wanted to share their technology, but we killed them. So this is how much fear, excuse me, and aggression has been instilled in humanity towards our galactic neighbors, towards our star nations. So we love them, and they love us. We love you. And they say we love you back. So this is Sirius, the Pleiades. I don't know all of them. Excuse me, Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri. That's where some of our Lemurian ancestors went. And I don't think they should have left, because it was a divine masculine aspect of the Lemurian society that needed to learn to protect and to enforce the law and to figure out how to shut the reptilians down. So we are finishing that on surface Earth, as I've talked about. So we need to adjudicate the reptilians and the Antichrist figures, and we don't want to grow the dark government. We want to reduce it and diminish it, and we simply do not want the gang stalking community and the heads of the dark government, the Antichrist figures that I've exposed, to constantly be recruiting people to commit crime. We are all children of God, and we cannot be doing this to each other. And we cannot be making each other sink ourselves, because we're committing crime and diminishing ourselves and ruining our future. And when we break the law or harm someone, we diminish our own souls, and we also damage the victim. Then we have karma, and it needs to be rectified, and it stays with us into our future lifetimes, and it is always recorded with us, but the karma stays until we rectify the karma, or it is rectified for us. So when we rectify, or there's divine justice per the karmic board, which is accurate justice, which doesn't overdo it or underdo it, then the damage is fixed and the soul of the perpetrator is restored, as well as the soul of the victim and the damage itself. So this is why the law is so important, and the law and justice hold the universe together and maintain the integrity of the universe. the Antichrist goes around saying, oh, it can destroy the universe. And that's where the dissolution principle comes in, and the dark and light, dark false paradigm and false dissolution principle comes in. But no, we cannot. The universe is meant to be protected and loved and cared for and nurtured. So the universe can evolve. So it's be protected and evolve for eternity, freely for eternity. And so the universe needs to be protected and cared for so the universe can evolve freely for eternity in its protection. Namaste. Amen. It is done. So that is the main message. And it's always been there, and the rest of the universe does that, but we have to shut the reptilians down. And we are about to do that with First Contact. And guess what, folks? We have intergalactic society where we can roam the entire universe and not worry about our reptilians worship coming at us. And that's what we have to look forward to. Okay, so it is done. So on to the political scene to give some messages so we can remind ourselves on what we want to be doing and how easy it is to do. We need to remember that Adam and Eve need to come together and cast the serpent out. So it is not the planet that, or the countries that are attacking each other or that have an issue with each other. It is the reptilians that are pitting one party against another and that are creating a dark government and causing deprivation by withholding resources and sustenance from the population, and also adulterating the consciousness into thinking it's okay to commit crime, and then that's the way it should be. So those are the main issues, and that all comes from the reptilians. So we need to adjudicate the reptilians, and unfortunately we need to adjudicate the dark leaders, unfortunately, because we can't be destroying. It is simply against the law. It is simply against divine law, and we need to fix it. So if we fix it now, and we have First Contact to shut the reptilians down throughout the cosmos, we will never have any crime ever again, and no one will ever be sabotaging their future ever again. So we will have infinite abundance because we graciously have intergalactic society and gracious infinite abundance due to galactic technology and love, and infinite love, and infinite protection and caring for. And everyone in the new earth, everyone will be trained to consciously enforce and obey the law, protect and respect the divine feminine, and steward the cosmos, which is to protect and care for the planets, the animal kingdom, and the species, each other. So we will all have that, and we will all be responsible stewards of the cosmos, and it is a requirement. It will be forced, and we will do it, and we will be made to do it. So the universe will continue to be completely policed, so we will have a lawful, policed, and free universe where we can roam for eternity and play with each other for eternity, where we will have intergalactic travel on a daily basis. We will have intergalactic movies, concerts, media. Trump can have his golf course on another planet or another golf course. Restaurants will have restaurants on each other's planets with their permission, of course. They don't want it, but we want it. Intergalactic sports. That's what I forgot. So we all want to do that. Soccer, they don't like football. They like badminton. and things like that. They said they like rock climbing, they like skydiving. They're always used to being in the air, but they really can't wait to feel the air on their skin in 3D because most of them exist on the higher dimensions. Okay, so with the political scene, so we have to know who is causing the war. So you can use your intuition, you can work with your spirit guides and the karmic board, as well as with investigation. And you need to keep your mind and your heart open. And when you have the full picture of what's going on a galactic level, on an intergalactic level, then it's easy to decode the whole thing. So we need to tell the Illuminati to do a better job stewarding the planet. We need both the Democrats and the Republicans, and, we all need to be governing and stewarding together. And the Republicans are the divine masculine in the United States, and the Democrats are the divine feminine, and the Republicans are the protectors and structural support, and the Democrats are the universe and the caretakers. So what I'm bringing to the table is to redefine the Republican Democratic Party, to clarify it, and to redefine it, or to fine tune it, but in this light, and for both parties to work with the Creator on getting the Creator's stance and position on all the issues, from abortion to gun control, and you can work with the Galactics as well, because the Galactics, Ashtar says that they are all trained in martial arts and weapons from when they're young, but the public is not allowed to have weapons unless they're given specific permission in specific circumstances. And that's what we need to do. So we should, only the military, law enforcement, and the veterans and martial artists, for example, 9th degree black belt and on, who are very responsible and have attained the enlightenment to be responsible and to steward properly and to respect life and protect life. These are the people that it's the protectors of the planet that are allowed to have weapons and no one else. Weapons are such a problem on our planet, and that's why we have so much crime. Also because we deprive our society and our people when everyone is a child of God, and everyone should be abundant as we are in the rest of the universe, and loved, abundant, fed, cared for, and completely loved and empowered to thrive. Then there will be no more crime and no more mental institution. Okay, so quickly, so then the Democrats and Republicans, they just divvy up the projects based on their interests and go out and do it. And then I also suggest that you use the Creator on what programs to keep, what programs to cut, although once you make a commitment, it's really the law to maintain it. And you use the work with the Creator on determining what's really waste, fraud, and abuse, and what's illegal, or in that light, you can use the Creator on where the military should be, where we need their presence for stability and for the law and so on, or where we need to withdraw it. You can use the Creator on where to downsize the government, or where to keep it, or even where to convert or move things around, both internationally, if it's appropriate, only if it's appropriate, because we've made commitments to our neighbors. And so I almost want to take that back, because once you make a commitment, you need to maintain it unless it's not being used appropriately the way it's supposed to be. So I would still, if you stay with the Creator, then you know you maintain the integrity of the universe. And the enlightened masters are with the Creator in everything that they do. And so are the great leaders, the great political leaders. They're all connected to God, such as Nelson Mandela, and I know Bill Clinton has a strong connection, and JFK, and so on. So the Creator says that the Muslims are men of God, and the Palestinians are men of God, and they are holding the universe up. So they worship God directly. Now, all the religions are great, and all are valid, except for the destructive myths, of course. But I suggest that the prophets that in addition to worshiping our prophets, that we also worship God directly, and the prophets and the teachers and the gurus are meant to take people to God. I mean, that's their role. That is their role. So it's to steward the cosmos, to protect and steward the cosmos. That's all of us, but they're enlightened enough to know that that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're meant to do, to guide seekers in their enlightenment. And I'm getting attacked right now while I'm speaking. Okay, I will move on because I'm getting attacked right now. Okay, so the Creator wants the Palestinians alive and in their homeland. And it is my understanding, and I know that this is progressive, that it was sort of a lower, it wasn't really, they didn't quite come from the Creator for Israel to have Gaza. The Creator really wants the Palestinians to have Gaza. And so if every so the prophets, sorry, I got attacked badly. So the prophet's third role is to connect people to God and direct people to God. So I always tell people, listen to God, and to meditate, and to question everything. Okay? Never stop questioning. So you have the religious unity. We're all brothers and sisters, and we all anchor part of God in the truth of what God is, not the destructive myths, not the crime, but the law and respect for